and welcome. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview over the BCSC Canvas courses and its template that's been applied to all of your new courses for 23-24 and some of the expectations and tips for utilizing that template successfully. So basically the main goal of this video and this session is to learn about the template and what it means for you in your learning environment. So why are we using a template? A lot of this is carried over from our former learning management system, It's Learning, but we utilize templates for a variety of different reasons. Firstly, we got a lot of feedback in the pandemic as well as following the pandemic that we needed more consistency in our learning management system courses for our students, for the staff members who support students, as well as family members themselves and people who were working with students during those times. There was a lot of different courses, and our students were navigating between lots of different classes and subjects, and it got very confusing if there wasn't consistency. So we implemented this with It's Learning as a way to create that common environment and make things a little bit easier for students and families to navigate from course to course and subject to subject, as well as from building to building over their time in BCSC. We also use a course template just for teacher ease of use as well, and to help onboard some of our new hires, as well as support our staff as they learn and grow with the new learning management system. So therefore, we have implemented a common template in your courses for Canvas when they were generated for this new school year. So what does this mean and what are my expectations? There is a document that is linked here on this slide deck that kind of goes through this in a more cut and dry way, but I'm going to show you some of the different expectations as well as how you can edit the course template to fit your needs and still fulfill this criteria. The first big thing to know is that there's really 5 big expectations as it relates to the course template. The first one being make sure you use the template and the template's been applied into your courses. That's a pretty easy one to get behind. It's already there, just make sure you use its elements. The second expectation is to make sure that you customize your home page in your course so it includes the following criteria: your teacher and course name, contact information from you as the teacher and best way to get in touch with you, a welcome message for your students, whether that's typed out or it's a video recording, it's up to you. Wanted to create some of that teacher presence. And then a link or some way for students to access current lessons for your class, and all lessons should be organized in modules. And then a way for students to access or a link to past lessons, which are also going to be in the form of modules. Technically, with those two, both of those links can be the same, but there needs to be a way for a student to get to the current lessons as well as the past, in case we have any students who are out for extended absence or they need to go back and reference material if they were absent. The next bit is really for secondary teachers only, but another expectation related to the course template is that you utilize the navigation format that's already been implemented into the template for you, which is a simplified course navigation. What that means is that there are some course navigation menu items that have been hidden for students and still active for you as the teacher. We hide some of those course navigation items so students don't get confused or they don't go about your course in a way that reveals too much of the content that you have built out in advance. The fourth expectation is to use modules to organize all of your content. All of your pages should be built and housed in some type of module, as well as your assignments and assessments. Modules are the only way to organize your content in Canvas, unlike It's Learning where there are 3 or 4 different ways. And we need to make sure we leverage modules so it's consistent for all of our users. And lastly is to make sure that all of your assignments in Canvas have due dates. Right now, you probably won't be able to save an assignment in Canvas unless you add a due date for it. This does not mean that it has to be graded that day or it has to be graded at all or associated with any type of points or value, but we want to make sure we have due dates on assignments so that these events are created on the Canvas calendar and then students get reminders each time they sign into Canvas to complete that assignment. Plus, it helps with data reporting and tracking and supporting our students at the broader school level. So to go into these details in a little bit more depth, here's some of the expectations for your homepage. There are a couple of homepage templates that have been applied into your Canvas course. 2 of those are designed for middle and high school teachers or secondary buildings. One has been applied already as your homepage in your course. So if you wanted, you could technically go in and start using that one. These are all loaded under the Pages menu in your course. Elementary teachers will go to a different screen to add their page with all of their curriculum links. So what you'll need to do is customize your homepage to include the following: your teacher and course name, teacher contact information, a welcome message, link to current lessons or active lessons, and a link to past lessons. And it's very easy to do this. I'm going to toggle over into Canvas to show you how. So if I'm signed into Canvas, I can technically get to my courses from my dashboard or from my courses menu. If you don't see your courses, you might have to go to all courses and select from there. If I click my course screen, it's going to take me automatically to my homepage for this course because a template's already been applied and created a homepage for me. Now, all I have to do is go through and edit. To edit this homepage, I'll just click the Edit Pencil button. And now I can start changing bits and pieces here so it makes a little bit more sense. A lot of the text that you'll see on this homepage screen should not stay there whenever you officially publish your course for your students. A lot of the tips and bits of text that are on this screen are intended as tips for you as the teacher, not necessarily things for students to see. So I'll go through and delete some of these things that are more relevant for me as the teacher. All right. The next phase here is talking about navigation, organization, and design tips, as well as some exemplars for doing this. So if you scroll further down the page past some of the teacher guides and tech tips here, you'll see some quick access links already set up for you. The way that we have set these up is the link here to lessons takes students to modules in your course, which means this is already set up so that students have access to all past as well as current lessons in your course. So really, this is set up already for you. The news button can be set up to go to announcements in your course. Announcements are a great way to send out really short notifications for reminders, tests, or upcoming assignments. The grades menu can be set to go to grades in the course. This allows students to quickly access their gradebook. And then help can be taking students to a page where perhaps there are setup guides or maybe access the Canvas guides for students. If I wanted to customize any one of these items, these are set up as basically clickable image button icons. So I'll select the picture here, and I know it's selected because it has a blue box around it. I can come up to this link button and select external link if I want to take it to a website outside of Canvas, or course link if I want students to go to an item I've already built out in this Canvas course. So for this example, I want the news button to take students to announcements. So I'll go to my announcements button, and I already have one made. So I can select that. It selects it because it highlights and it flashes the screen. Now I can click the close button, and I can click save. And you'll want to click save after you make your edits and finalize. So now if I click the news button, it's going to take my students to this announcement page in my course. If you're wondering how you can customize some of these pictures and images, we've built out a page in your Canvas course with all of these buttons and icons for you to make your own and personalize with your name, as well as more. So if I'm here on my course page, I'm going to come over here to the Pages menu. And from there, I can access even more helpful pages and links and resources. I'll click View All Pages. And then from there, if I scroll further down the page, this is going to show every single page that's built out in my course. I'll click Template, Icons, Images, and Visuals page. From here, I can see several different icons and pictures that I can use for the design of my course. If I didn't like this particular graphic on my homepage, I can pull from any one of these others. And I can even get access to create my own icons like what we saw on the homepage. Those icons were created using Flat Icon and Google Slides. There's another icon builder tool here. But if I wanted to use the ones on the homepage, they are all listed right here, as well as another option here to organize your course and do buttons by unit. So that's just giving you some of the helpful pieces for setting up your homepage in Canvas. The next major expectation was simplifying navigation in your course. Technically, this is already done for you through the Canvas course template. But at any point in time, your course template has not been applied correctly, or you configure things and realize you need to convert back to the course template, you can always simplify course navigation very easily in your course. So if I go to my Canvas course, right here are my course navigation items. These are the ones that are specified in the course template that I must have active. These other items are ones that are not active in my course, and I don't intend for them to be active. Now, some of you might have additional textbook items that show up as menu items. With that being said, it's really helpful if you give your students an easy way to access these items. So if you purchase ListenWise or Delta Math as a part of your adopted textbook series, you'll want to keep those button items active. If you don't have those adopted resources, you'll want to hide them to avoid any confusion for your students. So right here, I can tell if an item has been deactivated if it has a circle, I button with a line through it. This means as the teacher, I can see all of this, but this stuff is invisible to students. If you're thinking to yourself, I don't want pages to be hidden for my students, this doesn't mean students can't access pages, but what it does mean is that students can't jump to the pages menu and see every single page that you've ever made. Why do we not want this to happen? Well, if I look at the pages menu in my course, there's no organization system here and there's no rhyme or reason. If I work ahead, it's always going to organize them by title or by creation date. And if I work back and forth on different units at different times, it's going to be very confusing for my students. So I really should never make this page active for them, this menu item active for them, because it's only going to cause confusion down the road. The items you'll want to have active are these. Now, if you're thinking, well, I don't want my students to look ahead on assignments, students will only be able to see assignments that are active for them. If you hide the assignments menu, students won't be able to see any of their grades and they won't see any upcoming due dates or deadlines for assignments. So it's really important that you keep that menu item active. You'll want to have modules active as well because this is the way to organize all of your content in Canvas. If you're curious about how you can change your course navigation menu items to where these are the ones active as specified in the course template, if I come over here to my left-hand course menu and click the settings button, I'll come over into my settings screen and select navigation from the top menu. Right here, it's going to show me what items I have active. Let's say I'm not a math teacher, so I don't want Delta Math to be active for my students. I will click and drag Delta Math down to the deactivated or hidden collection of items here. And I would repeat that for ListenWise if I was not an English language arts teacher and didn't want that to be active as well. I'm going to keep these essential items as specified in the template active. Whenever I'm finished, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Save. And as you can see, this just updated and I no longer have some of those unnecessary items available for my students. So that's the importance of simplifying your navigation. Obviously, if you use the textbook, you'll want to activate that. The next must-do for your Canvas course is to make sure you use modules to organize all of your content. As said earlier, modules are the only way to activate and to keep your content in Canvas organized efficiently. There are not multiple ways to organize content. Modules are essentially the only way, and they have several different features similar to many different options within its learning. When you organize your content, you want to make sure all of your assignments and your quizzes and pages are within modules. To get to modules, I'll go back to my course and click the modules button. There are already some content and examples built out in the template for you. This first template here is just resources for you as the teacher, so you will not want to publish this one unless you want students to see it. It has an overview and getting started tips as well as guides, and then the example pictures, icons, and banner images here for you. There's even a link here to the Canvas guides that walk you through how to use all of your Canvas course features. Below that are a couple of sample modules to help your students get familiar with your course and to help you get familiar with Canvas as a teacher for the start of the school year. This sample module has examples of a class question board you can ask to have students familiar with the tool, as well as About Me and a course overview page where you can even link your syllabi. If I scroll further down, there's even a module built out here with tech tips for students, and we recommend that you keep this active and include a link on your homepage for easy access when students might need help submitting an assignment in its after-school hours. If I scroll further down, here's an example of a module and how you can use this simple structure to keep your content organized. When it comes to organizing your module, you can do it by week, by unit, up to you. Just make sure that you have some specific information and some type of title or heading here that gives students an idea of when these different lessons and activities took place. Whenever I want to add some items to a module, I'll just click the plus button and I can create a new page or one of these items from this drop-down menu. I can create a new one from scratch by clicking the Create button and giving it a title, and that basically keeps it as a shell or placeholder. Or if I've already built out a page, I can select that here from the options of different pages within my course already. If you have questions about modules, we have linked a tutorial that goes into more of these features in more depth and detail. The last piece here is just to make sure you have deadlines or due dates on all of your assignments. Right now, it's helpful if you have due dates on your assignments in Canvas so they populate in the Canvas calendar. If you have your students download the Canvas mobile app, this basically means they'll get push notifications when assignments are due, and they'll also see it as a to-do list item each time they sign into Canvas on their Chromebook as well as on their mobile device. It's helpful for tracking assignments and late work, as well as just giving our students reminders when they have something upcoming so they can better manage their tasks and their workflows. If you're curious about what these templates look like, I've included a couple of different examples within this video, but I also have more tips further on in the slideshow where this video has been embedded. If you're curious about how to add your specific textbook resources, there's a slide deck where we show how to access those different links. The Canvas Commons is a great place to go if you're curious about how to leverage the course template and want to get ideas. The Canvas Commons is similar to the IS Learning Library in that we can publish and share resources there, and you can copy and import them directly into your Canvas courses. We have the course template here, all in its entirety, if you want to import it into your course and start fresh. We also have some curriculum resource links, as well as a template here for assignments if you want to create some consistency throughout your whole school year. If you have questions, please let us know by entering a ticket or sending an email, and good luck with your Canvas courses this year. Thanks for watching.